In this video, I sit down for about 30 minutes with my good friend AJ. We talk about productivity, music, and influence on our overall lives. So it's been a really nice conversation we've had for the last like 45 minutes. So if you're interested in any of these topics, click on the subscribe button down below and follow AJ on Instagram. I'll have his Instagram link down below, and it's going to be a good one. So Andy, welcome back to the channel. It's been 3 months since we talked. For anyone who don't know, this is my friend Andy. We went to the same secondary school and sixth form together. And yeah, we've been friends for how many years now? Like three,
It's going on what, 3, 4?
4 years. So how you
Okay,
been?
I could stick a joke in there.
Take a joking.
No, I won't.
Ah,
Anyways, yeah, it's been so long that I actually haven't told Shamir that my name's actually not Andy anymore. It's now AJ because I realized I don't like the name Andy. I think it sounds bad. So yeah, it's AJ now. I've been really, really good. I've been making a lot of music. So if you remember from the last podcast, if you watched that one, I didn't go to uni. I'm now basically self-employed, and life is good. What about you, Shamalan?
yeah, so I go to UCL. It's good living in university. I've been on the grind. I feel like I've been waking up every single day at like 5 a.m. Doing deep work, grinding for the YouTube channel. I've been doing some AI business stuff as well. And I've been going uni. Been hitting gym 1 to 2 times a day, pretty much every day. And yeah, life is good. I've been on this grind very, very hard for the past like 2 months.
So
Yeah,
that's kind of like an interesting counterpoint. It's like, waking up at 5 a.m. here. I was waking
yeah,
up at like 2 p.m. every day thinking everyone's got the same 24 hours. If I get 8 hours of sleep, like I'm going to get the same work done.
yeah,
Nah, it does not happen. If you're waking up past lunchtime and you're trying to work at 4, 5 in the morning, it genuinely doesn't happen. It's
yeah.
impossible.
So there's actually been studies proving this. So when you wake up early, especially as soon as you've woken up, you have increased prefrontal activity. So your prefrontal cortex, where you like generate your most useful thoughts, and that's where like you generate your most useful work, is most active as soon as you get up. That's why like sometimes you feel like you have like the afternoon block that you don't get
Mm.
right in the morning.
It's
You
like
also
the
have something
post-lunch, like when you have that like massive influx
exactly,
of carbs. Like if you're
exactly.
doing what I was doing, when you wake up at 2 p.m., dinner is basically lunch. I always have a massive dinner, mum's bolognese or whatever. And then
Yeah,
I feel so heavy and tired afterwards. So say it's like 10 p.m., I'm meant to be doing like the work that I should have done at 2 p.m.
yeah.
Suddenly I'm so tired, I'm lethargic. It's terrible.
Yeah, literally like the best. I've been going all into this for the last couple of months, but the best productivity hack best productivity tactic ever created. I've looked at billionaires, millionaires, like people like Alex Hormozy, billionaires like Charlie Munger. The one thing they all had in common was they woke up early before everyone else, did good quality work consistently, and that's literally it. Like
The
if
consistency is a big thing.
yeah, yeah. I got like, if you remember my A level results, like no, I mean my A level mock results, I was doing this pretty consistent. I was waking up pretty consistently, doing work every single day, and I got like 96, 94% in like maths, further maths, like physics. And it was only when I stopped doing that, it was only when I like stopped respecting that habit that I kind of fell off. But it just gives importance to the actual habit of waking up every single day.
No,
And
it's
just
definitely
the
important.
CTA, I have like a community that I'm launching in December called the Deep Work Club. Basically, we will help you. Me and my team will help you get up every single day, do work towards your goals consistently every single day. Basically, we have like a daily call system where we have AI that logs your what time you join the call, what time you leave the call. It's like a co-working thing, but you're held accountable to it, and whoever works the longest and most consistently is put into like a leaderboard, and like you're held accountable for all of this. You're given productivity like knowledge, and also you have a community of people also very going very very hard into their goals. So if you're interested, I have like a link in the bio for the wait list. But yeah, like genuinely deep work. I people in my comment section keep on saying that I keep repeating myself and stuff, but I wouldn't be repeating myself if I didn't understand the importance of this. Like the only thing I wish I had done going back year 12, year 13, like any like my youth, if I had just woken up early, done like 2 hours 3 hours work every single day, like I would have been completely different to where I am now. Yeah,
It's
sorry, I cut you off.
challenging though. Like it's hard to get like a significant portion of the population to get on with like getting up at 5 in the morning. Because if you follow the kind of lifestyle that I do, where you have like a full week of work and then on the weekends you party, whatever. If you want to go to a rave, you're out till 5 in the morning. which
Yeah.
means you have this like horrible shift of like sleeping at a normal time every single day. Then on the weekend, you're like 12 hours in debt because you just got nothing.
Yeah.
But
Again,
I
like
guess,
my community is like aimed towards. I mean, you can say that about anything. You can say, oh, getting like a load of people into the gym is unrealistic because like you have to do the protein, you have to change the way you eat, you have to
yeah,
actually
yeah,
go and
yeah.
like lift weights and stuff. You
It
like
depends how bad you
realistically,
want it. If you want your
exactly.
goal bad enough, you will wake up at 5 a.m. and like ignore raving, I suppose.
Exactly.
Maybe I
The
should
deep work
actually,
is for like people who are actually like are willing to dedicate their time. They actually want the result and are willing to like go all into it. If this is like A levels, any like sort of business you have, if you wake up every single day, like we will help you go towards that. But then again, like it depends how hard you want it. In my opinion, this is the greatest
yeah.
productivity tactic you could ever do. So why not invest into it?
If I was
But
waking up
yeah,
at 5 a.m. every morning for my A levels, then yeah, no, it's easy A stars at that point.
literally, you know, I'm gonna blur his name out, but you know, do
Mm,
you know what his like work routine was? I asked him.
no.
It was literally just waking up early, doing like 2 hours of work every day, and he would just like
Yeah.
he would like skip after school. He would
Would
do
he?
like random stuff. He was in like random clubs and stuff. But his like
Yeah.
he literally when he had his Oxford interview, he asked the interviewer a question. He went through all the questions. You're meant in like an Oxford maths interview or whatever. They ask you questions and they like ask you harder questions that you can't solve just to test where you are like
Yeah.
mathematically. But he answers just all of them. Again, my channel is like will help. My channel will help you improve your productivity and fitness. What you do with that, how you are as a person, isn't my problem. You can be like
Yeah.
a very nasty person to be around, like some people I knew in like who were very academically gifted. They were very productive. They went to the gym and everything, but they were just bad people to be around. Or you can take it the other way and like actually be a good person. That's not
Well, I
for me
can.
to choose, you know. But I prefer like
You might want to cut that
that
one out as
you.
well.
Huh?
No, you just might want to cut out the name I said.
Who do you say? Yeah.
Yeah, fucking Deep Work Club. One other benefit, like, I don't think Shamir's. Or should I refer to as Shamalam, or is that a bit
No,
impersonal?
no,
No.
no, don't it?
So one of the things that I haven't seen Shamir actually like put out there about the Deep Work Club, but not only are you getting up at 5 a.m. to work hard, you're going to be surrounded by a bunch of other people that are also putting themselves in that position to work hard at 5 in the morning. And
Exactly.
as a large inspirational character on YouTube always likes to say, you're the average of your five closest friends. If your five closest friends are all in the Deep Work Club, then
Exactly.
you're gonna be the average
No,
of that. That's gonna be insane. You're gonna be like
genuinely, I was on
a
live stream like 2 days ago, but I was telling like people in the chat how how
you
valuable I
refer to
think
them
this
as
is.
chat.
I was telling the people in the chat.
Dude, are you like yo chat?
No, I'm not saying yo chat. No,
All
no, I'm
right,
not
okay,
one of
fair
them.
enough.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, like, oh, I really want to join and everything. But I was like, imagine you had a commute because I've been in the productivity like self-improvement space for years now. I've been in this for like 5 years, and I've never seen like a serious enough like I've never seen a community like this. I have a very strong vision for this. Imagine you join this club, like the Deep World Club, and then you stay for like 2 years, 3 years, every single day, pretty much every single day consistently. You're improving your community, your productivity, and you're waking up early consistently. Imagine like where you'd be 2 years from now if you just stay consistent. And
And you're
not
gonna be
only
so
that,
grateful to yourself as well. Like, don't even
exactly,
think about like, oh, I'm gonna feel so good at that point. You're gonna think, okay, in 2 years' time, I'm gonna look back and be like, dude, I was a genius. Why why
exactly,
why was I in year 11 and I decided to just wake up at 5 a.m. every morning?
exactly.
That's
Like
next
the
level
results
shit.
will compound. Like people don't understand the compound effect, but results aren't linear to time. So people think that the more effort you put, like against time, will look like this. But no, it looks exponential. Like as
Yeah,
you
like
put,
think about PewDiePie on YouTube. Like he doesn't put any more effort into his videos now than he did 10 years ago, but he's got what 100 million subscribers. He used to have 50.
yeah, exactly. But if you just put in a little bit, no, like a lot of work. If you put in work in the right area consistently, results are exponential. That's why if you go to the gym consistently, everyone's had the phase where like for 2 months nothing happened, and then like in 2 weeks you're just jacked. You know, nothing happens
Yeah.
and everything happens at the end, like at once. So that's just like a shameless plug to the Deep Work Club. But I genuinely think that 2 years ago, if I had joined this community, I would be completely like in a completely different role. Right
Fuck,
now,
why
the
didn't you
reason I'm
start it a few
juggling,
years ago? Should
yeah,
have joined.
should have joined. But like right now, the only reason I'm juggling going to the gym twice a day, pretty much, this consistently as well. I do 9 exercises every day, or like 8 exercises every day. Um,
Guys,
uh,
hang on. So let's take my example.
yeah,
As AJ, I make music and I can't really record vocals like at 5 in the morning because obviously my parents are going to kill me.
yeah,
Um, or what about when I see my girlfriend? So when I see my girlfriend on the weekend, as it is with most people, her sleep schedule isn't that great because that's just how it is. She'll go to bed at 2, wake up at 10. Most people are doing that. So
yeah,
how am I going to interact with people like her or interact with my friends, whatever? And when I meet up with them, our sleep schedules are completely out of sync.
yeah.
And when you shifted to like a 5 a.m. wake up, did you not find that challenged your interactions with other people? So, say you have to go to bed at 9 because you're waking up at 5.
Yeah.
How do you interact with other people? How does that not interrupt your like friendships or like even like relationships with your mum and anything like that?
Yeah. So a lot of people. So there's a lot to unpack here, but basically, when I understood that waking up early was important, a lot of the advice online is just the same as like any discipline or motivational thing, which is just, oh yeah, you just wake up early and then you do work, and then people go through cycles where they try wake up early and then like they do it for like 2 days and then they just stop. They just are unproductive for like 3 4 days, and they do it for 2 days again and they stop and they're unproductive for 3 days, and it's like an up and down cycle. You know what I mean? Loads of people who actually like they actually try and wake up early experience this, but the way when I read into books like Atomic Habits, basically the way you're meant to do this is by changing your identity. If you see yourself as someone who's a morning person, you're automatically more inclined to wake up in the morning. It's the same like if you're going to the gym, you don't start off by going to like the 2 3 hour sessions, weightlifting sessions. You first see yourself as a gym bro, and then you go a little bit every day. So instead of trying to wake up every day at 5 a.m., you start by waking up at like 7 a.m. and doing work in the morning. And then after you do that consistently for like 2 to 3 weeks, you move up to 6 a.m. And then you're going to fall off again. And then you start back at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. And eventually, like the graph of progress, if you expand the graph of progress, it looks like it's going up consistently. But if you zoom in, it's like an up and down cycle. So you're like when you join the deep work club as well, you're not going to be consistent 100% of the time. That's why it's in a 3 month cohort. You're not going to be like very consistent at this. This is just how the brain works. You're going to try do this for like 2 days. You're going to try wake up at 6 a.m., fail, try again, fail. But eventually you have like a consistent habit of just waking up at 6 or like waking up at 7. Right, that's what happened to me. Right now, I've like progressively overloaded to 5 a.m. So I try to go to sleep at the same time. But even if I don't have an alarm, I automatically just wake up at like 5:15 every day automatically.
It's really
So
good.
you
Any habit
basically
that you build over time, it becomes
exactly
enjoyable as well. So for you, like if
exactly
you woke up at 7, you're gonna feel like a slob. You're gonna feel like a piece of shit.
100%, 100%.
Versus, and it's the exact same as like if you go to the gym every single day for a month, if you then take a day off, you're like, oh man, I feel
Yeah.
terrible. And we
But
both experience the
one
same
thing
thing.
in the community, one thing in the deep work community that someone asked me this as well is what if I just miss a day? What if I miss 2 days? Your progress doesn't reset after the 2 days. It's like if you
Mm.
go to the gym consistently for like 2 to 3 weeks. If you stop going to the gym for a day, it doesn't mean you've lost all the gains. It just means
People
that's
get
just
really
part of the
worried about
process.
like skipping the gym and that kind of thing. I think
Yeah,
I think they worry that one day of failure represents a future of failures. But I
exactly.
guess it's just you can accept one
How you
failure
act
and
on
then
the
keep
failure,
coming back.
how you act at that micro moment, what you say to yourself when you fail, it will dictate if you fail or succeed in the future. If you have a positive outlook where you're like, okay, this failure is part of the progress. I'm just gonna try wake up early tomorrow or just do deep work tomorrow. That is what will constitute success. If you just understand that this is the best way of working and then you just keep on that, you eventually get to the point where you're waking up consistently every day in the morning. But if you're like, oh no, this doesn't even work. It just doesn't work for me because I'm like an evening person. Then you're not gonna succeed to this. This is like the biggest objection. People try doing this for like a day or two and they just quit. Imagine you tried going to the gym and then you lifted up, like you did the bench press, and then you're not jacked, and then you just quit. Oh, the gym doesn't even work anyway. That's not how it works. Like, it's been scientifically proven that waking up early, every single millionaire, billionaire, every single successful person you ever speak to says having a predictable work routine is what got them the success. And the best way of having that is in the morning, where your brain is most accustomed to work. So it doesn't
Have you
mean
looked
that the
into like
habit
vagus nerve
is.
stuff with reference to like your brain being accustomed? Have you looked into like the vagus nerve being like in like a calm, elastic state?
I have, yeah, I have. I've put it into research, but can you expand on
Have
that?
you?
The biggest what? No.
Well, no, I don't know. I don't really look that much into it because
Yeah,
I'm not really that focused on like deep work or making my work that efficient because I just make
yeah.
music. But by the sounds of it, I should actually be making my work more efficient. If
No,
uh
I think
if
what you
anything's
need
come
to
out of
have.
this, you have convinced me to wake up a little bit earlier. But
No, no. Okay, so like my community isn't really a waking up early community. It's a deep work community. It's not like realistically you don't. Okay, waking up early is very important, but what's more important is having a predictable set of work hours. So like every single.
interestingly, I already have that. To be fair,
So
every
if
day
you
is
have
a
if you have a set work amount of work hours every single day where you're actually working, doing deep work, getting in the flow state, that is level one to like productivity. That is
yeah.
already good. Just the next level to that is doing that in the morning where your brain's more focused, basically.
Yeah, which is the same as like the vagus nerve stuff. It's like the vagus nerve stuff is only worth getting into if you're already being productive. Because it's like, okay, if your vagus nerve is more elastic, you'll get more work done, but you have to be putting an hour to do work in the first place. But to be fair, almost like an antithesis of the deep work club, I wake up at 7:30 every day. I have dinner and go to the gym at 8 p.m. every day, and I will not work after 8
Yeah.
other than like gym work, that doesn't really count. So like past 10 p.m. when I come home, I just will not do any more work because it's just frying my brain at that point.
So what's your work schedule like then?
So wake up at 7:30.
Yeah.
I breakfast. I do all my normal stuff, the shower, etc. Trust me, guys, a shower. Then 9 a.m. work starts. I work from 9 or 9:30 if I take a walk in the morning because sometimes you got that pent up energy. You kind of want to get rid of it. It's either a walk or a meditation. 9:30, I work until 12:30, where I force myself to have food because I'll have like a monster in the morning, or I'll have like some kind of stimulant to get my brain legal stimulant to get my brain going like in the right direction. And if you have any kind of stimulants in your system, including caffeine, I just can't eat. It just won't happen. So I basically force myself to have any protein like midday. And then from 1:30, when I go back to work, I just work for another 6 hours until
Yeah.
my mum's cooked food because I'm
Yeah.
still living at home right now. I'm self-employed doing my music stuff, which thankfully means I don't have to cook for myself, so I can work literally 6 hours straight in the afternoon.
Yeah. So you're in work mode for about 6 hours.
I'm in work mode for about 9 because
Yeah.
I it's 9:30 to 12:30 and then 1:30 till 7,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
why my brand new release, Fear Your Spirit by AJ, on all streaming platforms is so good and you should check it out.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
You
okay,
just brushed over that CTA.
oh, yeah, yeah, no, I'll link it.
That was not listening.
I'll link it in the description. But
Oh, come
if
on.
you think about in the book Deep Work, the actual book Deep Work, let me get it. Like
You
how you
mentioned
call.
Atomic Habits earlier. I've heard mixed reviews about that. Can you comment either way?
I will. I will. Let me just explain this point, and then I will.
Mm.
But again, I've read all of these books. Like, okay, I've been a bit weird with the way I read books. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't really go out. I just read productivity books, which is a
Do
bit
you feel like a
bad.
failure if you haven't finished the book, basically?
Not really. I just the thing is, if I'm selling something, if I'm promoting something to my community, if I'm promoting a product, I feel like I need to be knowledgeable about all areas on this. So I've read literally all of those books. I've read this book. I've read Flow by Michael Csikszentmihalyi, or however you say his last name, Atomic Habits. All of these books, I know them pretty well. But in this book, right, he says that deep work is capped at 4 hours. So deep work is basically a specific type of work where it's like a sprint. So, for example, if I take the example of doing A level papers, if you're in work mode for like 6 hours, 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, you're going to be less efficient than someone who does 2 hours of deep work, because those deep work, like those deep work hours, is a specific type of work where you know exactly what you're going to do, and you do it with complete concentration. Like you block out all visual distractions, all audio distractions. You just look at your screen, do intense work for about 90-minute blocks, and then you just finish. You just rest the entire
So how
day.
does that apply to creative work? Because the
So
kind of
creative,
work that you do and the kind of work that I do is really different. Because I make music all day, I enter a flow state. So for that 6 hour block, I've already done 3 hours in the morning. The 6 hour
yeah.
block in the evening, I'm literally just glued to my screen, just doing the same things over and over.
Okay.
If you ever looked into music production, it's the same thing over and over, and I'm still in it.
Okay. Operationally, what is the constraint to music production? Like, what do you have to do to get better? 80-20 rule. Like, what are the 20% of things you have to do to get better in music?
Uh, Learn. You got to watch videos, or you've got to research how to get better. Basically, I use YouTube and certain AI to assist with that.
What about just creating the beat?
Uh,
Like, things.
I mean, you're learning from experience, I guess. Like if you try something and it works, that's cool. But most of the time, you're listening to. Or to be fair, actually, what I do usually is I'll put on like an album I love. So I'll put on like a Fred again album. I'll listen to the stuff that I find really interesting and cool in his music, and then I'll just apply that into my own.
Yeah. Okay. So by deep work is specific in it's applying the 80-20 rule. So if you take all of the things you can do to get better as a musician, the only thing that will grow you as a musician is creating music. So therefore, deep work is constrained to creating music. All of the work you do outside of creating music, including learning, like listening to albums, is not deep work, because it's not the constraint. It's not the main piece of work which will push you towards your goal. So that work is constrained to 4 hours a day. So it's like going to the
Okay.
gym, right? If
Yeah,
you
I
if you
see. I
if
see
you
exactly
learn
what you're
if you
saying.
learn going to like if you watch YouTube videos about going to the gym, if you like watch fitness content, that is really good. Like you do learn a lot. But the only thing that will grow you and grow your physique is actually going to the gym and lifting the weight. So it's the same thing with music, I'm guessing. The only thing that will grow you as a musician is
Yeah.
just iterating and making more music.
Yeah, you can read as much as you want online about how to do something, but there's a lot of time I'll watch a YouTube video about how to do something. I'll open up my audio software and go, wait, hang on, what? Like
It's
what?
like some days. Let me know if you relate. Some days you work the entire day, but you haven't produced anything.
Yesterday actually. So I got to like 6 hours of music making. I got my mum in the room because I was like, "Yo, mum, check this out. It's good. It's a good beat." Um, and I played it, and she was like, "Oh, is that it?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's like 6 hours of work." Because albeit I haven't made that much, I had spent so long learning how to do something and so long actually producing that thing that it literally took the full day. And then because I already knew how to do stuff before, it's like when you watch those gym videos on how to do something. If you already have that knowledge, you can apply it really quickly. So, albeit the thing that I learned to do took me 6 hours, all the other stuff literally like 10 minutes. So the song went from like level here after 6 hours to like here after 6 hours, 10 minutes, which I guess that exponential thing you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess, but like, do you think it's important to iterate? So just, I think I was watching Kanye West's documentary G Hunt, and like when he was getting started, he
Yeah,
was making.
it's genius because it's genius, genius.
Is it?
It's
I didn't know
so
that.
it's genius, genius,
Oh,
because
genius.
he's always been like, yo, Kanye's a genius.
Okay, okay, genius. But I know I watched like a bit. I watched some clips here and there, but in one of the segments,
I
he said
saw
he was.
one Instagram reel and claimed he saw the documentary.
No, no, I actually see him through the actual Netflix thing.
It is
But
really good. It's a really good
yeah,
documentary.
100%. It's very good to kind of dissect his brain. But he was making 10 beats a day.
Yeah.
A
Nah,
day.
he
He
was
was
he was
just
fucking cooking.
no, that's the thing. The only way you can get good at something, like you can learn and everything, but the deep work is just iterating, just constant output will help you. That's also why I want to become a better YouTuber, right?
Yeah, hang on. So why are you
I'm
using the word
iterating every day
iterating?
by
What does that
by
mean?
uploading every day, and therefore I iterate every day, because I know the
Okay,
only
hang on,
thing
wait.
I realized this like like 2 months ago, that the only thing that will grow my YouTube channel isn't watching YouTube videos on how to grow it, isn't like reading books, isn't like learning how to speak. It's just by recording and uploading YouTube videos.
Well, it's
It's
just like
just
the gym. You can watch as many like Alex Eubank videos as you want, but
yeah,
that's not going to get you any bigger. In fact, you got fatter sitting there watching him. If you
exactly.
actually go to the gym and you do the work, then you're going to get bigger. Yay!
Yeah, it's the same like revision as well. I meet so many people that try like say they've watched all of these revision videos, say they know like the productivity stuff, but they haven't actually done the work. And then like you see so
Yeah.
many who don't know any of this, not even on self improvement. They don't know anything about productivity. The only thing they've done is just done practice questions, which is the 80-20 rule. Practice questions, practice papers, and they've gotten such good results just because they did the work.
It's actually a trap I don't want to fall into with music production, where I get this idea that I'm really good at music production, but if you've got no beats that are good, then
You have no substance,
what do you
right?
even mean? If you know loads of stuff about something but you don't apply it, then what's the point? It's like me knowing a million things about like insurance sales. I don't sell insurance, so like it's not applicable. It doesn't mean anything.
Exactly, exactly, 100%. And that's what like in my community, the way our course is laid out, the way we teach you to do deep work is literally list out like 8 things you can do, list out like 10 things you can do to achieve a certain goal. So for example, if your goal is to get a star in maths or a good grade in maths, list out all of the things you can do to revise for maths: reading the textbook, watching YouTube videos, doing past papers, doing practice questions. And you're only constrained to 2 things. So it only counts as work if you're doing practice questions and practice papers. It doesn't count like you're using your free time to do stuff like learn about the subject. So it's what like I'm saying for my YouTube channel, and what I think you should do as well is like identify the 80-20, identify the 20% of things that will get you the results you want. That is where you're working. Everything else is not work. Like you should quantify work as producing music.
I would go as far to say, oh no, I guess my problem is when I'm producing music, I happen to be learning at the same time. So I find it difficult to differentiate what's like making music and what's learning how to make music. Because a lot of the time I'm learning and then just doing it immediately.
So productivity, loads of this is another side tangent I explained in my community. But productivity, a lot of people think that productivity is defined by like the normal person thinks productivity is defined by the hours you spend on something, right? So for example, if I say I've revised for 10 hours a day, that is objective. You probably think, oh yeah, like that's a very good thing if you're revising 10 hours a day towards something. However, this mindset comes from the industrial age. Cal Newport explains this very, very well. This mindset of working for longer, getting more results, comes from the industrial age when everyone used to work in factories. There, you were paid based on how many hours you would work in the factory, like how many manual labor hours you would do. However, now in the intellectual age, after the industrial revolution, people still think that it's the amount of time you spend on something when that's not how it works. Productivity isn't defined by the hours you spend on something, it's defined by the output. So you shouldn't define product like it's not a productive day based on the hours you spend on something. It's a productive day based on the output of the day. So for
Yeah.
example, like if for music, it's productive if you produce a beat that day, not because you spent this many hours on a certain day,
Mm.
if you know what I mean.
In fact, it's interesting. So I post on TikTok as well to inspire people to like follow my YouTube or just go straight to my music, right? And I spent so long making TikToks before. Like I'm telling you, I spent an hour and a half editing some of these TikToks, and I was posting one TikTok a week, which is nothing. I'm now
Yeah.
posting 5 TikToks a day because I'm
Yeah.
spending literally 10 minutes editing each one. If I'm spending like 2, 3 minutes and some of them just going like that, which means my output is crazy, even though I'm putting in significantly less effort than I was before.
Exactly. Like your productivity is output. It's output times quality. So if you are outputting more with more with the same quality, you are objectively more productive than someone who spends all day doing something. If you move this back to the academic or revision route, if you do two
You tend to burn out as well. If you're claiming you're doing 10 hours of work, you'll probably convince yourself that those 10 hours are being used like crazy. You're being crazy productive in
from a
that 10
personal
hours.
example, in the February half term, I put this on my YouTube channel. I said I was going to try revise 8 hours a day consistently. But before I was doing like 2 hours in the morning, right? I declined when I was doing 8 hours every day. I literally went down. I decreased my productivity. I decreased my grades. I was worse off because I did 8 hours every day because I wasn't productive. Every day I would wake up and like I would just because like revise like doing past papers are hard. Like doing the 80-20 rule, doing the hard work is objectively hard. So I'd be like, oh no, I do it later. I'm gonna do it later on in the day. I don't need to do it now because I have 8 hours to do this. And then I would just keep on procrastinating until the end of the day where it'd be like, oh, I haven't actually done anything. I've done like random work that doesn't even matter. I've like watched a YouTube
Yeah.
video on A levels. But it's the reason I created this community is just to have that big block in the morning of deep concentrated work to the hardest thing, and then you can just rest for the rest of the day. There's a famous entrepreneur called Naval Ravikant who wrote a very famous book called The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. But he says you should work like a lion and not a cow. A cow just stands there chewing away, doing nothing the entire day, but a lion rests all day. But when he works, when he sprints, when he hunts, it's full concentration, full intensity, just hunting for the prey. And then once he catches it, it's over in like 2 minutes. The amount of hours you work has no correlation on the grades or the output you have. That's why you have so many people getting such good grades whilst not really revising that much in a day. It's just because they're more productive than you because they produce more on a daily basis.
Those people that don't revise as well, they're gonna choose because they know they're so limited on the amount of time they're going to revise. They're then
Yeah,
going to choose the hardest topic that they actually need to work
exactly.
on.
Exactly. That's why, like, I've noticed this as well. When I've gone all into like revision, all into A levels, I actually end up being worse off than if I had the gym in my day, if I had other things I was doing in my day. Because if I have a smaller amount of time to do the work, I automatically prioritize the hardest work.
I would
If
also
you know.
say there's no point in your education that you should stop doing like fitness or anything you love for the sake of revision because if you're spending so long revising every day that you just don't have time to hit push at the gym, your mental health is going to tank. You're going to be doing less work. You're going to wake up the next day thinking, "Why did I even bother doing that revision?" You're not going to be successful in your test, and you're also still going to be small. I'd
Exactly.
rather be jacked and have the same grades than be small, depressed, and probably have slightly better grades.
No, honestly, like if you do deep work consistent, like properly, you can be jacked and have way better grades than the
Yeah.
person who's dedicates all the time, which is unheard of. Like in the immigrant community, it's common like for your Chinese cousin to be doing 14 hours a day of revision. But
And be
objectively,
prepared to doing that as well.
if he condensed that down to like 3 hours and woke up in the morning and had a predictable set of workouts, he'd be so much better off, which is hard for people to understand. Like it's really, really hard for people to get around the idea of more what hours worked is better because
It's
it's
just been
just so
ingrained
ingrained.
into you for so long.
Exactly.
It's been ingrained into you forever.
Exactly. That's why like the direction my channel's headed now is business, academics, gym. It's like the holy trinity. Astaghfirullah. It's haram. The trinity's haram. But it's like the holy
Oh, I
trinity.
miss that.
Like young people, if you have fitness in check, if you go to the gym consistently and have a good physique, if you have very good grades, and if you have another side hustle, that is like the best life you can have because you can juggle this and get very successful in like all these three areas like honestly quite easily. Like if you wake up early, get all of the hardest work done, and then go to the gym and then like dedicate your time into some kind of side hustle, you will get good in these three things. And for in more of like a bigger bird's eye view, as I've come to London, I've realized how much AI is having an impact on jobs and stuff. And I'm telling you that you need some kind of side hustle, some kind of business entrepreneurship knowledge, young, to save yourself from this massive job replacement in every single industry. Industries that
Where
you
have
don't
you
even think.
seen it personally? Because obviously I haven't gone to
Yeah,
uni, so I haven't like spoken to that many new people or whatever. But where have you
yeah.
seen AI
So
taking over?
I don't want to scaremonger people because a lot of people the human nature is if you're scared, you just don't do it. So if I like ward people off going like if I say, oh no, like it's hard to get a job, people just won't revise. But I just
Yeah,
want to say that like careers that you don't even think would get affected by AI are getting affected, like massively affected by AI, especially stuff like now if AGI comes along, it's basically regenerative AI that will take
yeah.
over loads and loads of industries. So, for example, software developers, like I think like Google, Apple laid off all. They don't take any university graduates anymore for the first time. They just said no because all of their junior
Yeah.
developer teams are just getting laid off from by AI. AI can do code. There's something called vibe coding now, where if you just literally type into Chat GPT what app you want, it just gives it to you. Like you would have 3, 4 full-time employees trying to make an app, trying to make a website to work over for 3 months, right? You could do that in 10 minutes. Like it's
Yeah, I might need
insane.
to make an app.
Literally, bro, like use something like use GitHub Copilot or like
Yeah.
use Google Gemini. Literally say, I want an app doing this, this, and this, and it codes it for you. You can put that on the App
Oh,
Store if you just.
what?
It's insane. People took like 3, 4 months of full time developers doing all of that. Imagine that's from a consumer standpoint. Imagine in businesses how much that's affecting people. There are
Imagine how
massive,
vexed you'd
massive
be if you're
layoffs.
just replaced like that. Man, you got like
You
4 months of work lined up, and then your developer's like, nah.
literally 10 minutes done. Code like you like you can ask codes to look like for example testers, right? In the office, testers are basically they find out software bugs and then they flag them and they solve them. You can do that in 10 minutes. You can just ask AI to just look at bugs and fix them. Like, and that is right now. Like a year ago or 2 years ago, this wasn't there. This technology just wasn't available.
It's a
There is
scary concept.
it's insane how fast AI is increasing, like how rapidly it's increasing. And I'm not going to go as far as to say as like university is useless or anything, but I do think that the ideal life as a young person is to have incredible gym progress, good academic, like perfect academics. Honestly, I think academics right now, especially if you want to go into like a good job or make it corporate, is a prerequisite. It's not seen in the same light as it used to be. Like back in like 10, 15 years ago, having all A stars was or like having all nines would be like, oh, like this guy's very
Yeah,
smart.
it's mental.
Now it's
Nah,
now
there's
look
so
now
many people
don't
getting
have
that.
to grades. It's
Yeah.
everyone's getting good grades. It's a prerequisite right now. And also having some kind of side hustle, some kind of business experience is the ideal three. And I'm telling you, if you like, if you just trust me and implement some kind of it's as simple as that. I guarantee you, just implement some kind of consistent deep work schedule every single day and work towards something in these three, like in either your academics or business. You can't really do deep work for the gym, but academics or business, you pick some kind of thing to get better in, and you invest into that every day. You'll be so far ahead, like 2 years from now.
To the antithesis of like the fear mongering that AI may bring, you've also got to remember that AI is probably going to bring jobs. In the same way, like the Industrial Revolution, it killed off like farming or like sewing or all these random things that the machines could do. Sure, AI is going to kill off a lot of jobs, but it should bring other
No,
ones
okay.
back. We
With
hope.
with that, okay. So no, I want to debate that for a bit.
Mm.
With AI, will create jobs. What jobs would it create?
Well, nah, but we
Because
didn't really know what jobs
in
would
the
come from the
industrial
Industrial
age, like it was
Revolution.
different because like sewing got replaced, but it got replaced with other things like handling machinery. When you have AI doing everything for you and also fixing itself, what jobs will it create?
Well, yeah, I did watch that one YouTube video saying that it's just going to kill us off in 10 years anyway. So don't go uni because you're not even going to get the degree by the time AI is taken over. So
I don't think so.
that's a lie. Don't
I
follow
still
that advice.
I still think uni is useful. However, what I do think is AI is so good for an entrepreneur, but not like someone who works a job. As an entrepreneur now, like to get the resources you used to need, it's so easy now. You can just go online, create an app. It's so
I
easy
wonder
for the
how I can
entrepreneur
apply AI
to
to my own music stuff. Maybe I just need to make like
delegate everything.
Spotify, but
So
just for me.
literally delegate everything you that's not contributing to your overall like goal to AI. So you do the
So,
same thing
okay,
as
in
like
in theory, I could use AI to make music like that, but I think that's really, really wrong, and I shouldn't be doing that because I value my art and I value making music. If I just got AI to do that for me, then like, what the fuck's the point? Why is it even made? What do you think about AI in like art?
so AI in art. AI like with art, you use AI. You don't. It's the same with anything. With any like thing you want to get better at, like entrepreneurship, you use the tool. So what you do is you do the same 80/20 rule. What are the things that will actually get you the result? What do you actually need? If you could just work on one part of your entire workflow, if you could only work 1 hour a day, what would you do towards music?
Uh, Well, I just make beats, I guess. I just make music.
So you would produce beats, right?
Yeah, I just produce more music.
Exactly. So you that is like what will propel you. That's what you need to focus on. Now delegate everything else to AI. So everything like editing TikToks, everything from literally every like micro thing that doesn't contribute to your main work, which is making beats, producing beats, is delegated to AI. Because
Yeah.
in the books before our work week, he describes delegation. This was written like 20 years ago, so he would be like, find the thing that actually gives you the results, and then delegate it to like virtual assistants or delegate it to someone else. Now it's not like that hard to just find AI to do it. You know what I mean? And that's why
Is
it's so
there
good for
AI
beginners.
that you use for YouTube, etc.? Because if I could use AI for like editing short form content, that would be good.
I use CapCut, but
Yeah, same.
that only like that only removes like filler words and stuff. And I have
CapCut's
delegated
so
it to an
silly.
editor, but I
CapCut's so like it's just such a silly little app.
yeah. What does that mean?
No, I don't know. Like whenever I use CapCut, it's always got like the craziest effects, and they're just like straight out of China. Like it's got like aura swirl, and I'm just like, this is straight off of like the, I don't know. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Some poor
Da
producer had
Vinci
to make
Resolve is
this.
like the more mature one, but I still use CapCut.
DaVinci Resolve. Well, you got to pay for that, though, right?
No, there's a free version, but you have to be like
Is
good at
there?
editing. And then
Oh,
again, like I thought about this for my own YouTube channel. I need to
if you're spending
iterate
time
on this
getting good at
YouTube.
editing, then like, what the
Exactly.
fuck's the
It
point?
takes away from the actual like point of
Yeah,
your YouTube channel. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
You're not
It's the
you're
same
not
with
producing.
with like revising and stuff. It would just be like if you're spending time, I don't know, like making flashcards. I was telling someone on stream as well. If you're spending 3 hours a day or like an hour a day making flashcards, that's taking away energy you could be putting into doing the paper.
Actually doing the
So you can just
flashcards. Yeah.
delegate everything. I mean,
Hmm.
use something called Notebook. If you're a student, you get Gemini Pro for free for 1 year. So you can use stuff like Notebook LM, which makes mind maps, flashcards for you, AI summaries, like with AI. If you just upload the resource, so and like for like science, right? If you just have the PDF and drop it into this, it makes all of the flashcards for you. It makes mind maps for you, tailored
Well,
to the
think about how much
specialty.
time you would have saved like 2 years ago using AI to make those flashcards that me and you used. That
Imagine
would be
I could
insane.
have just copy and like I could have just download the specification, download the textbook, and I would have the flashcards made for me. That's it. End
Yeah,
of. I mean,
that'd be sick. Right, mother is calling. Dinner is on
okay,
the way. I'm gonna have to go.
okay. Okay, wait. Let's just end this. But yeah, it was very nice having this conversation with you. I'll get you on the podcast again soon. Hopefully not in 3 months.